I played football from 8 years old all the way till I was in my late 20s. My name is Maxzell Morgan. I'm from Highland Park, Michigan. Former football player, athlete through college, tried out for some pro teams and all of that. I am a retired real estate broker. Moved back here from California because of my heart condition. I initially started losing weight. I lost several pounds. Didn't know why. Finally, someone told me to go to emergency. And I finally went, found out my ejection fraction was, which is the amount of blood pumped back into your body, was 10%. At that time, the hospital I was in Palm Springs wanted to do a transplant. And at that time, my mom was seeing a cardiologist at University of Michigan. We contacted her and she suggested that I come back to Michigan. So I did pretty well. I had maybe 4 or 5 surgeries in 2017, and then I was treated with medication. January of 2025, I was told by my cardiologist that the medication was not doing the job. They told me about a device that I had never heard of, being a heart patient from 2016, LVAD HeartMate, which is an electrical pump attached to the bottom of your heart and run by electricity. I have batteries attached to my body, and my heart is run on a pump. I have all this new equipment that I have to wear every day. There's 2 batteries here and a controller, and that goes into my stomach, which is attached to a pump that's actually attached to the bottom of my heart. So I don't have a blood pressure. I don't go boom, 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 boom anymore. I have a swishing sound. Some people call me because I had a defibrillator, a leadless pacemaker, bypass. They call me a $6 million man. I never heard of being a heart patient for 9 years, having 3 to 4 heart attacks before anything. I had never heard of this device that I use. My surgery was June of last year. I fought getting the surgery done. Quite a few doctors and different consultants came in my room to, try to help convince me. And then finally they said, well, 6 months to a year unless you get the surgery. So that made me help me make the decision there. And now I'm glad I got it done. When I woke up from the surgery, I could not even pull myself around in bed. So I was a little bit upset with me. I'm a former football player. I'm a gym rat. I've always been wanting to go to the gym. I was kind of worried about, you know, getting really active. And I was happy that there was people around that they seemed to understand my needs. They monitor you. I had the heart rate equipment attached to me at all times. And during my exercising, they would come and see my progress and give me an idea where my heart rate was. Saw another gentleman when I first arrived here. He had an LVAD also, so him and I automatically connected. Then as time went on, you see people on a regular basis. Different, every condition is different. Even if they say they had an LVAD, everybody's ailment is different. Some guys that like sports, and one guy didn't like the Lions. I like the Lions, so we used to talk about the games every week when we came back. And then, of course, the therapists were all great. Every last one of them were really great. They tended to be more personable and tend to have a plan. And that's what I like. And they gave me freedom, a little freedom too. Equipment I chose to work with, the speed that I started with, but they also requested that I would try to up my pace a little bit, not every day. Explained to me that if I overdo it, my body wouldn't repair itself as quick. They allowed me to grow. They did it in a nice way. Like I said, I'm very competitive, and I feel that I know more about exercising and body than anyone else. They let me feel that I was in control. But when I thought about it, they monitored me, and they were like, "Well, why don't you move up a couple of points?" And then when I was in the weight room, they come check, tell me, "I hear you breathing too hard. You're breathing too fast. You're moving too fast." And I'm like, "Them little girls don't know what they're talking." But they were right. They were right. But I was, like I said, stubborn too. So I was pretty happy. And of course, the more confident I got, the better my health or my ability got. And I think that was a lot. Mentally, I think that helped a lot. And then the mental thing went on to the physical. And I started doing extremely better than I thought I was going to be able to do. And then I graduated. In the beginning, I was like, there's no way I'm going to make 36 days, which is not much if you really think about it. But, as time went on, about halfway, I was like, wow, I'm halfway there. But a sense of accomplishment, and I felt really good. I know a lot of people that say, oh, I don't go to the doctor, I don't do this, I'm not letting anybody cut on me. I think a lot of that is because people just don't know. And sometimes the unknown can be pretty scary. So if I can help anybody, get over that fear, a little bit of knowledge, helping someone is always great.